Unity of Houston is an inclusive church where we seek to understand and live the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. At Unity, we welcome all people from all spiritual paths and every walk of life. We celebrate the diversity of our city and of our world, and we teach love, tolerance, and oneness, seeking to live in harmony with open minds and open hearts. Wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are always welcome at Unity. Join us and discover that the life of your dreams is already within you.
I'm just curious, do any of you feel like life is moving really fast nowadays? Like, how is it already October 11th, 2017? Like, I need a couple more weeks, you know? Like, wasn't it just July? It just feels like it's moving so fast. And yet, you feel like sometimes things are moving like really slow, like when you're standing in line at the grocery, or like you're waiting for the plumber to come, or Houston traffic, or being pregnant. I mean, I don't know how many of you can relate to that, but my daughter was 1 week late, and let me tell you, that was a very, very long week. Very slow, very long. Or waiting for our dreams to come true and to show up in our lives. So what is it? Is life moving too fast? Or are things really moving too slow? So I think both are accurate. I think there's a tempo to life. And sometimes the tempo is moving quickly, and sometimes it's slowing down. And so the question is, are we in the flow with that tempo, or are we resisting that tempo and showing up annoyed and frustrated and impatient, whether it's too fast, it's too slow? So tonight I'm going to share with you some of my journey with the power of patience and how using patience has shown up as a blessing in my life. Some of the tools that I discovered, and being patient, allowing me to be present to all the good in life. So first I'm going to start with a few one-liners on patience. Patience. The quality you admire in the driver behind you, but can't stand in the driver who's in front of you. I mean, really, they have to let so many people in, Comedian Will Ferrell said, "Before you marry a person, you should make them use a computer with slow internet service to see who they really are." Baseball manager John McGraw said, "There are 3 secrets to managing. The first secret is to have patience. The second is to be patient. And the third most important secret is patience." Margaret Thatcher said, "I'm extraordinarily patient, provided I get my own way in the end." How many of us think that way? And finally, humorist Franklin Jones said, "You can learn many things from children, how much patience you have, for instance." So what is patience? Well, our Unity Dictionary, the Revealing Word, tells us that patience is an attitude of mind characterized by poise, inner calmness, and quiet endurance, especially in the face of trying conditions. Well, I pray, I meditate, I know poise and inner calmness, quiet endurance. But let's look at that in the face of trying conditions. What about that part? Well, we've all faced trying conditions in our lives, right? Like, let's look at the last month or so here in Houston, right? We've all faced some trying experiences. Chilean poet Pablo Neruda wrote, "I am, as all mortals are, unable to be patient." It's a very human thing to get agitated at the way things are in life. It is. Yet when we make that extra effort to stay present, we get to show up from the wholeness that we are, as the wholeness that we are. We're really showing up in and for our lives. Now, I have a toddler, so I have a brand new experience of patience that I'm working with. She's almost 20 months old. Her name is Felicity. I know I've shared about her before. And I get great joy out of teaching her, being her teacher and teaching her letters and numbers and showing her how to put things together. And I really thought of myself as her teacher. But really, she's my teacher, right? I'm really learning about what my threshold of patience is, because I'm finding out about some trying conditions that I'm putting myself into. I've learned that she can tear a room apart in a matter of seconds. Everything on the floor, books, just everything all over the floor. And I have learned to be patient in teaching her to take the time to pick up the books, put them back on the table, and she's learning to do that. And I'm okay. But then there's another level. And you could call that level like a mass chaos level, because I have a toddler, and I also have this senior beagle. Okay, he's a stubborn old beagle. He's half blind, he's half deaf. He's always like under my feet, and I'm tripping over him because he can't really see where he's going. And he barks a lot, and just really testing my patience. And we had a doozy of a night a couple of weeks ago, the three of us in our home. Now, our dog can tend to bark through every meal. He just barks and barks and barks. And so what I thought to do in my infinite wisdom is to put him in his kennel that night. And so he would bark, but we could eat in peace, because what would happen was he would bark and bark next to the high chair, and my daughter would throw food at him because she realized it made him quiet, and really this is not working out too well. Food all over the floor and still barking and jumping and biting and stuff like that. So I thought, great, we have peace. We ate our meal. She could eat her meal and not get upset. And so I put the dishes away, and then I went to the bathroom in a normal routine to set up the bath, to get ready for the bath. And I called Felicity, it's time for bath, come here. Felicity. And like in seconds, I heard something like fall. And I thought, oh man, she moves really fast. So in like the couple seconds I went in the bathroom and called her over, she had climbed up the chair at the dining room table, and I thought I cleared all the dishes. I had left a glass of iced tea on that table, and she's very interested in liquids right now. She's very curious about liquids. So that iced tea was all over the table that had her coloring books on it, all over the floor, just everywhere. And so I said, okay, you know that prayer, Lord, grant me patience, and I want it right now? There's some irony in that, right? Like, I don't really want to wait for it. Let's bring that patience on. I really needed it in that moment. And I remembered hearing a minister who told us to be careful about praying for patience, because then the universe would bring you a lot of opportunities to be patient. So, side note, be careful when you choose a talk title, The Power of Patience. The universe will bring you lots of opportunities to practice that, because the minister has to try it on and practice it out and really live it in order to share about it, right? So I had a lot of those experiences, and now I've learned about that talk title thing. So in that moment, with all the iced tea everywhere and the coloring books being ruined and everything, I thought about what I read about parenting and how children learn behavior. And she has been mirroring my behavior and imitating me. She wants to sit where I sit, eat my food and everything. And I didn't want her to learn that when something spills, we freak out about it and we get upset. So I took a breath and I followed my guidance of what to do. My guidance was okay. Just put her in her pack and play so she's not going to get in the mess, and then got all these towels, and I had to throw out the books that were really figure out which ones were salvageable, and it took me a long time to get all of this cleaned up, and I did, and I felt good about myself as a mother. I said, hey, I handled this situation so calmly, I knew what to do, I handled it, this is great. And so I let the dog out of the kennel, I got her bath ready, she had her bath, I put her in the PJs, and so then we go out into the living room because it was time to give the dog a walk. And so we're walking down the hall in the living room, and Felicity slips and falls and hits her head, and oh my gosh, and my feet are wet. And I look, and my dog had peed all over the hallway. He did not want to wait for the bath to be over. He didn't bark, he didn't scratch, he didn't let me know. He just peed. And so this took it to a whole other level, right? Because Felicity's covered in dog pee, my feet are in pee, I've got to clean up this pee, right? I really wasn't happy with my dog, and so I had a snap reaction. Right? Who wouldn't? I said, naughty dog. And Felicity goes, naughty dog. I went, oh, okay, she's figuring out what I'm doing. She's picking up on she's being a sponge, picking up how I'm handling this. So I said, okay, I'm gonna make a commitment to patience and take a deep breath. What is mine to do? And so I needed to clean her up, take her pajamas off, clean her up. I cleaned off my feet, cleaned the pee out, and then I had to clean up all the pee, and then I had to walk the dog. And then that's when I really started to think I had a threshold on patience, because I really thought I had this patience thing down, and then that took it to a whole other level. I could be patient with my daughter, but the toddler-dog combo and all that stuff happening, like I just thought it was too much in one night. I know I was getting really stressed, and I thought I might have to seriously find a new home for my dog, because I'm not able to show up as a calm mother the way I want to model for her. And to deal with the dog on top of that. But then I thought again, well, what am I really teaching Felicity by giving away my dog because he peed in the hallway? Because she's going to ask, well, where is he? And as she gets older, she may ask even more in-depthly about it. Am I teaching her that when the going gets tough, you just give up? You just give up, that you let go of the people in your life that you care about when they do something and they act in a way that you don't like. It's not working for you. So my first lesson in patience was let it be, listen to my guidance. So I had to let it be, just be what it was. So just like the Beatles song, let it be, let it be. Sing the chorus with me. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. So let that be your mantra when you're facing like this crazy situation, and you have to be, let it be, let it be. Reverend Jeanmarie told me, let it be. So go to that. I think that life needs to have a really great soundtrack, and we get to choose our own music. So go with that one, that's a classic. That's a classic. So first I had to just let the situation be what it was and what really happened. Felicity was curious about the iced tea, the water, the liquid. She spilled it, kind of being curious. My dog had to pee. I was in the bathroom. He couldn't get me, or whatever reason. And so he couldn't hold it any longer. He peed, and that's it. Like anything else I make up is just a story, right? And I did judge. I did call him a naughty dog. That was impulsive. But we move beyond that, let go of judging, let go of labeling, and just really being in a place of noticing, just noticing what's happening, so we can move out of that frustration, that annoyance, into patience, into peace. I realized that there was no hidden motive, that my daughter wasn't trying to destroy my day, my dog wasn't plotting a scheme to get me to give him away or something, right? And that's a story I could have created. All I needed to do was just clean it up, to take care of everything and everyone, and to be forgiving and understanding. And so that's what I eventually moved into. I really had to let go of my resistance. When I talk about that threshold was that resistance showing up, my resistance to that situation. And just really let it be, and what is mine to do. And next time I'll remember not to leave my drink on the table, and hopefully remember to walk the dog sooner so that doesn't happen. There's a great prayer that really helps me with patience that is used in the recovery movement, and it's the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And patience is really about coming from peace and acceptance. And when I'm in resistance, I'm not present to the good. I'm not present to what positive action I can take. And peace comes when I recognize what's mine to do and what isn't. And so I take that time to just slow down, to let it be, so I can be more present to the voice of Spirit's guidance as to what I can do and what things I can change. In Isaiah 40:31, it says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall not run and be weary, they shall walk and not be faint. Metaphysically, we understand this idea of waiting upon the Lord as listening to Spirit. Listening to Spirit. When we listen to Spirit, our strength is renewed. We don't need to walk. We don't need to run and get ourselves all tired out. We can walk and be at peace, not faint, have the inner strength to do what is ours to do. My second lesson was that I can behave patiently without feeling patient. You can behave patiently without feeling patient. So my inside feelings don't necessarily have to show up as my actions. Reverend Karen shared with me, she blessed me with a beautiful story on patience. She said it would be okay for me to share it with you all, that when her mother was near the end of her life, she was in a nursing home, and Karen would go visit her. And her mother just really wanted Karen's time and presence, and for Karen to just really listen to her, tell her stories, and, be a mom and all that. And Karen had things to do. She's a busy person, right? She had things to do, and she recognized that when she was feeling impatient and she wanted to go, she instead would lean in and take her mom's hand and be even more present, to really lean into the situation, stay a bit longer, listen to her even more deeply. Because she said that when you choose to sit there just a beat longer, when you're feeling impatient, but you choose to stay there, be there a beat longer, that you can discover something that you might have missed. And she discovered a lot about her mom that she might have missed if she had just kind of made a rushed visit and gone out. She stayed and listened. And she recognized that even though she might have felt impatient inside, that her behavior expressed patience. We can choose that. It's a choice. A Course in Miracles says, only infinite patience produces immediate results. Imagine that. When we lean into the experience, like Reverend Karen did, and make the choice to stay and to be present, the good is revealed. My third lesson on patience was, when I give patience, I receive patience. When I give patience, I receive patience. I'm from New York, and I lived for a long time in New York City. I worked in New York City, and New Yorkers aren't known as being the most patient people. We're rushing around. We have a lot to do. It's not that we're rude. We just have things to do and places to go, and there are a lot of people in the way of that. So we've got to get where we're going. There's why they call it rush hour. It's a hectic place to live, and it can be really loud and sometimes stinky. There's this song that I keep hearing on the radio, and that reminds me of my experience in shifting about that, and it's called The Eye, and it's by Brandi Carlile, and the lyrics are, you can dance in a hurricane, but only if you're standing in the eye. You can dance in a hurricane, but only if you're standing in the eye. So can we be the eye of the storm? Can we be that calm space in the center of all the chaos and the hectic rushing and stuff? We can. In Unity, I learned the benefits of slowing down. I attended Unity in New York, and I learned that when I slow down, when I take the time to center in prayer, center myself in my awareness of God in and as all the people that are showing up in all this rushing about, that I am practicing patience, and really patience with myself, being that eye, that calm in the center of the storm. That when I was patient with myself, when I was calm and at peace, I was able to be more patient with other people. Now, there's this other version of the Serenity Prayer that you may have heard, and it goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know it's me. That's our spiritual practice. That's our spiritual practice. When you feel annoyed at everything, who's the one that's getting the annoyance? Well, it's me. If I'm feeling annoyed, I'm getting the annoyance, right? When we point a finger in judgment at another person, and we say, oh, that person is annoying. You know what they say about when you point your finger, that there are three pointing back at you, right? You spot it, you got it. So I remember that what I give in consciousness, I'm receiving instantly in consciousness. In Unity, we call this the law of cause and effect. Now, in the physical realm, if I give Keith a pen, I don't have a pen anymore. Keith has a pen, and I don't have the pen. He has a pen. But if I give Keith my anger, I'm the one who has the anger. It doesn't mean Keith has the anger. Keith might not even know I'm feeling anger towards him, or he might have a different response. I'm immediately, because it's in consciousness, experiencing that which I'm giving out. So I have a choice to switch that and give what I want to receive. So if I'm giving patience, I'm receiving patience in myself. And we want people to be patient with us in life, right? Because we're all students here. I mean, does anybody have this all worked out, where you have all figured out, all the answers? Elizabeth does. She's a master teacher. I love it. I love it. So most importantly, we want to be patient with ourselves because, we're all students in life. We don't always get it right. And we don't want to be kicked to the curb with every mistake, like me almost kicking out my dog, right? So if I want to have a patient child, I've got to exercise patience, practice patience. And we're demonstrating to people in our lives all the time. So we want to bless others by giving them our patience, our understanding. My fourth and final for the purposes of this talk lesson is patience puts me consciously in the flow of life. Patience puts me consciously in the flow of life. So I recognize when I'm being impatient that I'm forgetting our first unity principle, which is that there is only one presence and one power as the universe and as my life, God the good, right? So if I'm being impatient, I'm not seeing God. I'm not recognizing God. I'm not remembering there's only one presence in my life, and that is God. Sometimes we talk in Unity about when we center in God, we're raising our vibration rate, right? Raising our vibration. We can think of that God is like this really fast-moving energy. But that's not how I see God. I see that energy of God when I'm slowing down, when I'm decelerating, when I'm being mindful that I'm really getting into that God vision of seeing divine order in my life, seeing the good, seeing all is well. When I'm centered in prayer, I recognize that my prayers are already answered. Love that Boris shared that beautiful message in song with us tonight. And the lyric is, I believe he's a God who always answers prayers. When we pray in spirit, there's no time in spirit. The prayer is answered as the prayer is said. It's automatic. Like I said, in consciousness, what you give, you receive. It's already present. So in our manifest realm, in the earthly physical experience, there can take time to unfold. And we think, oh, well, it's God's timing. But if we know in God, well, the prayer is always answered, always immediately answered. So it must be my timing, God working through me, right? Expressing as me. So my timing, I need to be patient with that timing of how things unfold. Healing you can have a healing in consciousness, and it can take time to show up fully in the body. Prosperity demonstrations, relationships healing, things like that, we can offer forgiveness, and it can take time for that relationship to heal. Allowing that human time, being patient with that unfoldment is a lesson for me in that God's timing is really my timing. It's God's timing as I allow it to flow through me. So I ask myself, how am I resisting the good of God already present? Is it through my impatience and annoyance with other people? Is that my resistance? Am I holding unforgiveness? Am I not accepting the gift of my life as it is right now? Eckhart Tolle, he is a great teacher of being in the power of now, his message, and this is what he said. Always say yes to the present moment. What could be more futile, more insane, than to create inner resistance to what already is? What could be more insane than to oppose life itself, which is now and always now? Surrender to what is. Say yes to life, and see how life suddenly starts working for you rather than against you. The present moment is really a gift. And so when we bring our patience, we allow ourselves to be present with what is, however fast or slow it's moving, we really open up to our God awareness of divine order and all good unfolding.
Thank you for watching this message today. I'd like to invite you to join us in person here on campus at Unity of Houston for Sunday morning or Wednesday evening services. If you can't be with us here on our campus, you can still join us live on Facebook or on our website, unityhouston.org, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Central.